2Samuel 3. Again, this is me just speaking a few things that were highlighted to me as I studied, a few insights I got as I studied. It's important you also take the time to study the scriptures for yourself, because God will you will pick different things. God will highlight different things to you. Different parts of the story will speak to you. So these are just things that spoke to me that I got from reading the chapters. So my hope is, we would all study and come together to share the different things that we saw in the stories. That way we get a well-rounded picture. Okay, so we trust the Holy Spirit to guide us and give us understanding. So in chapter 3, there's war between the house of Saul and David, and Abner, which was the commander of Saul's army, was upset with Saul's son because that one had accused him wrongly and all of that. And he went over to David and says, "Hey, I'm going to make you king. God had even said you were going to be king." And David in verse 13, he was like, "Good, I'll make an agreement with you, but I demand one thing of you. Do not come into my presence unless you bring Michal, daughter of Saul, when you come to see me." I was like, wow. Okay, let's read on. So we go to, and then it's like, then David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, son of Saul, demanding, "Give me my wife Michal, whom I betrothed to myself for the price of 100 Philistine foreskins." Verse 15. So Ishbosheth gave orders and had her taken away from her husband. She had been given to another husband when David had gone into exile and all of that. Her husband, however, went with her, weeping behind her, all the way to Bahurim. Guys, what do you think about this story, about this part of the story? Like, first things, this soldier from Saul's camp had come to David to say, "I'm going to make you king over all Israel." But the condition, what was top of mind for David was, "Sure, I'll take your offer, but you must promise me you give me back my wife, Michal." Who was this woman? What was so special about this woman? At this point, David had 2 other wives, but there was something about Michal that could it be because she was his first wife, right? I think, yeah, she was his first wife. But that aside, just the gravity of, "I will take up your offer to make me king over all Israel, but you must first give me back my wife, whom I betrothed to myself, for the price of this many Philistines." And then she had been married off to another man at this point in time. The husband came weeping after her. Oh my God. What was so spectacular about this woman? Who was she? What was it about her that would make men do anything to want her? That this is not even men that did not know her, just random men on the road who just thought, "Oh, she was beautiful on the outside and because of her skin and all of that, or her looks." These were men that had been married to her, insisting, "No, I want my wife back." Wow. That was really thought-provoking for me. Like, this must have been a special woman. There must have been something special about her, that David didn't forget about her after so many years and still would negotiate to have her given back to him. And her now husband would embarrass himself wailing after her all the way till he was sent back to say, "Go back, guy." Yeah, may God help us, to be amazing women women of virtue, women of honor. And moving on, we go to verse 17. Abner then goes ahead to confer with all the leaders of Israel to say, hey, God had, it was David, God had decided to make king and all of that. Went to different areas and, bringing everyone together to say, let's make David king. And for me, I just see a situation of when God makes the enemy, brings his will to pass. This is someone from the enemy's camp. Now, seeing to it that David became king. David didn't have to plot, he didn't have to do any dirty games. The throne was brought to him, kingship was brought to him because it was the will of God. And God orchestrated events, even using someone from the enemy's camp to ensure that his will was fulfilled. What else did you pick from the story in 2 Samuel 3? Let's share.